Hi everyone, it's bonpi. Welcome back. Today is the 1st of May and that means it's time to do the April monthly recap. So we'll be doing some favorites and then a chat with me section. But first, I knew to say today's video will probably be a little bit shorter because it's been really busy for me school-wise and I'm trying to save myself time from having to edit and film. So this video will probably be shorter, but I'll throw in a couple more favorites and I'll cut back on sort of the rambling. So talking about school, first favorite, it's a timer. So this is like a study timer. It goes for a whole 60 minutes, and it's really cool. You can sort of visualize how much time you're going for, and I find it's really helpful for sort of managing how much time I spend on a task, and you can change between ringing and not ringing, so if you want to be really quiet, you don't have to disturb anyone. Two beauty things. This is the Fenty Skin hand mask, and it's a really exclusive sort of like hand cream that I use every night, and it's really nice because I forget often to put on hand cream during the day, so I'm sort of telling myself that if I do it at night, it sort of makes up for it. And it's really cool. It has this like cool pattern where if you squeeze it out, it comes out in like a little ribbon. So I think that's just really fun. Next beauty item is a lip oil. This is the lip oil from In Beauty Project. This is the Berry Jam lip oil. I think it's glaze number 2. And it's like called a lip oil. I think it's more like a lip gloss. But here, this is what it looks like. So it's like a standard wand tube, and it has this really wide, fat, big, juicy applicator, if you can see that. And then, so this is what it looks like on the lips. It gives a nice pop of color, and it also smells really nice. So I think that's a really fun, and it's like a really nice experience. It's not like sticky or anything. It just kind of coats your lips and makes it look all shiny and smooth. Okay, so that was the two beauty things. Now I have one lifestyle item before we dive into a lot of jewelry, which is very fun. So the lifestyle, this is my Owala water bottle. I think that's how you say it, Owala. And it's like all white, so it's kind of sleek, but look, it has this really fun bright blue straw. And the cool thing about it, as I saw, there's a straw. So you open it, there's a lock, and then it pops open the top. But there is a little indent there, and that is a little straw, and it doubles as like a regular drinking spout and as a straw, so you can just kind of like suck upwards with the bottle and you don't have to lift it up or anything. And I find that I've been drinking a lot more water with it because it makes drinking a little easier and sort of like takes out the hassle of having to like lift your bottle up every time. Plus I think it looks really sleek and it's really cool. As I said, it's jewelry time, so let's zoom you in, of course. Okay, so the necklace I am currently wearing is a custom-ish made necklace from Mars and Stars on Instagram. It's sort of like space themed and like dark, and like it's kind of cool. It's like there's this like nice star in the center, and it has like really cool beads around it, and it was a really great experience working with Mars and Stars on Instagram because they were super accommodating. Like I could change out things if they wanted to, and it sort of opened me into the gateway to like beaded jewelry. So that's this first necklace. It's like this dark themed necklace. Okay, the second necklace is from Late Spring Studios on Instagram. These are all Instagram small business, jewelry small businesses, and this is what it looks like. It is like this music themed necklace, has these angel wings here and like the 2/16 note, and it has chain work both at the top and at the bottom. And I fell in love with this necklace the second they dropped the necklace or released the necklace on Instagram, and I was like snatched it up right away. This was not a custom, but I thought it was calling to me because I'm a music girl and I already have like a necklace with like the headphones on it, so I thought this 2/16 note would be a really cool addition. Plus I feel like the color scheme, sort of like a neutral grayish tone, works well with a lot of clothing, so I'm really excited and I'm going to be wearing this so much. Okay, so this is the third necklace, and it is by Cherry Stars on Instagram. This was a custom necklace, and I was trying to go after a necklace that was sort of like a more neutral theme that could go with more like softer clothing pieces or like a softer outfit. And this is what we came up with. It was sort of like clouds inspired, and I think it's really cool because as you see here, there's like this like star keychain charm, and that's the centerpiece of the necklace. And it's all like, there's this like really cute dangly heart and like this little like these little charms all around it. I think it's really cute. And since it was a custom, I had a great experience working with Charity Stars on Instagram. And of course, they sort of like made any changes I wanted to. So it was just overall a great experience, and they were really sweet too. So those are my 3 necklaces that I have to show off today. And I have one sort of hybrid piece of jewelry that's very interesting, and I can't wait to show you guys. Okay, so now this is my special piece of jewelry that I think is really cool. And it is this sort of skeleton hand jewelry thing. I'm not sure quite what to call it, but it goes around your wrist, so like a bracelet, and then it cuffs onto each of your fingers. So your hand, it looks like you just have like a skeleton. And it's silver because of course that's a very universal color. And I guess it'll be really cool as like to spice up some more simpler outfits. So now that we're all decked out with our fun jewelry, I will show you my outfit today. So this tank top is from Cider. It has sort of this like cool metal clasp here, and it looks like it's technically 2 tank tops, but it's really just one. And I like the colors, like the gray and white matches with a lot of things. The skirt, it's like this little plaid skirt, but like a simple plaid skirt, and it's from Yes Style. The shoes, Converse. These are actually the BT21 collaboration, and I am really glad I got these when they did. And I honestly didn't wear them that much initially, but I'm glad I have them now because I am in love with Converse. And then lastly, this jacket is just a zip-up hoodie from Cotton On. I got it a really long time ago and I sort of forgot about it, kind of like the Converse, but now it's a really great staple to add to any outfit. So that's the clothing section. I still have my cool jewelry, of course. So let's go back for some of my song favorites and to check up on how much sleep I got this week. See ya! Okay, it's time for my top songs of the month. Let's limit myself to 5. You know, 5 for each of the skeleton fingers. So first, of course, 17 came back this month, and their title track Super or Sonogong is my first most listened to track, and I think it's a really great song. I think it's a really cool new direction of music for 17, and I'm excited. 2 is this new song I discovered called Cassette by Demian. It's actually several years old, but I only found it recently, and it's like really chill, and I listen to it like while I'm getting ready, like as comfort music almost. Next, I have Car Crash by EAJ or Eej. I'm not exactly sure how you say it, but it's J from Day 6. And once again, I sort of discovered Car Crash by accident, and then I sort of fell in love with it and then kept listening to it on repeat. And it's sort of like, once again, that sort of like chill music, and I am very much a lover of more relaxed music or music that sort of soothes you. Next, I have Baby Doll by Dominic Fike. This song really sprung up on me. I think it just appeared on shuffle on a playlist, and then it just got like stuck in my head and it just kept playing over and over and over again. And then I was like, oh, I need to go find it and add it to my playlist ASAP. So that's that. And then lastly, I have Good Ones by Charlie XCX. This is kind of a surprise, but someone film a dance video to it or a choreography they made to it, and it felt very like hype and sort of like as like a mood booster song. So whenever I want a little more energy or like, you know, get my blood rushing, I play that song and it gets me like all energized. So those are my 5 songs of the month. And of course, lastly, before we head into the ramble, I have how much sleep I got this month. So let me just go check that real quick. Interesting. Okay, I'm definitely certain there's potentially some error here. As I say every month, there's always some error because I have my sleep schedule on and it usually turns on early-ish, but if I'm like working and I have my phone aside, I can't turn it off. So a lot of like the bars, like you'll see, start at a certain time. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay, so this is how much sleep I got this month. Apparently it's 7 hours and 4 minutes. I'm pretty sure I've gotten less than that simply because I feel like I have been up to a lot more than that, but this is what my health app says, so I guess I trust the health app. And yeah, I think most of my sleep has been kind of averaging around like 6.5 plus to like 7-ish, so I guess that's nothing new. Okay, so the ramble section today is gonna be a little hybrid. It's gonna be either fear of missing out, so FOMO, or fear of standing out, so FOSO. I haven't heard many people talk about fear of standing out much, but FOMO is most definitely a thing. So FOMO is very prevalent in my boarding school community because sort of everyone is so interconnected and you know everyone so well, and everyone wants to portray a certain impression of themselves. So for example, if there are events on the weekend, people either deem them either worthy of going or not worthy of going to. And if they're worthy of going to, then you better be there. Like dances, for example, are very FOMO events. Like people want to be there simply because you dress up, you take photos, and you want to experience it as everyone else is experiencing it. Because you know the next day when you go to class, they'll be like, oh, what'd you think about the dance? Like I thought the food was great, or the music was kind of eh, and you want to be in on that conversation. However, of course, there's events that seem more lame to the public eye, and maybe if you brought it up, it would be like, oh, I was just hanging out with my friends instead, that wasn't worth going to. So there's a fine balance between what is FOMO and what is just no. And I feel like it's become more and more controlling, especially with, I guess, like what you put on social media. It's like you want to put your best moments on there, but who deems what moments are those best moments? And I think that just goes to show for like what culture or what pop culture for youth, Gen Z, whatever you call us, is promoting. So for example, if concerts are all the rage, I know Coachella happened recently, then of course you'd want to post that because everyone else is going to it. But of course, as I said, kind of like the boarding school example, if something is very underground or a little obscure, maybe you don't want to for fear of portraying almost like a not socially acceptable image of yourself. And then that takes us to FOSO, or fear of standing out, because there's this norm that the FOMO really pushes. And then for people who don't conform to that norm, you have FOSO, fear of standing out. And I think this is what happens when people always tend towards one single mold or impression. So like how they dress, how they present themselves, and other aspects of identity, I feel like. And fear of standing out means that people want to do everything like everyone else does. So in boarding school, once again, sort of like my test tube environment, everyone, even though there is a dress code, everyone tends towards the same version of that dress code. So it's all very preppy because it is a boarding school after all. People do like ruffle skirts, blouses, fancy sweaters, and it's not quite my style. And it feels a little awkward sometimes dressing in something a little more alternative or having like a different hairstyle than it's just hair down or hair up. So one time I did like little like space buns and I got some looks, but we've moved on from that. But I know there's many who haven't, who still very much so have this FOSO, fear of standing out. And I think they both FOMO and FOSO sort of work with each other because you don't want to miss out and you don't want to stand out. And that takes you to this middle, which I guess is just faux, fear of, or in this case, which would just be like being like everyone else. And I think that's sort of like the base level of what you are. Of course, if who you are genuinely is that faux or that faux state, then fair, be yourself, be that. But I think it's unhealthy for people to want to all go and be this one version of themselves that they think is more acceptable in society. And I feel like people need to overcome these challenges of society, like know that it's okay to not go to events you don't want to or to like walk alone. It's crazy how like we shun people for walking alone and people feel scared to be alone because they feel like they'll be seen as like loners or sort of like ostracized groups of society when it's really not that deep. I think that's one topic that like sort of encompasses everything, that it's not that deep. Societal interactions don't matter that much, especially if you're a kid. Like if you're a public figure, then fair, but to regular kids who are just students at school, I feel like societal interactions should not dictate such a large portion of your life. And that's, I guess, my message for this very short ramble with me today, that don't care about what people say. If you are what that tiny middle faux section is. Fair, be yourself, but don't be afraid to stray towards the FOMO, FOSO, far ends of this sort of how you present yourself in society. Don't let these fake influences of FOMO or FOSO control how you act, and just be yourself, if you're happy to be yourself, of course. That's it for me, I guess. It's been bonpi. Thank you for watching if you stayed this far. I will see you soon, hopefully, but no promises. Bye!